So the Sooners got somebody jumping out in practice that we've got to talk about. But these two position groups, they overlap so well that this may be the most critical spots for the Oklahoma Sooners on the defense side of the ball. We're going to jump into safety and linebackers while also mixing in that Cheetah because, again, they all go together so well. So let's dive into that. Before we do that, welcome to Unfair Sports. I'm your host, Jay. Thank you for pulling up to the channel. Shout out to our partners who sponsored this video, BetUS. They're going to hook you up with a 150% bonus on your first deposit, up to $2,000, by using their promo code YouTube150. So right now, the safety spot feels like it's set. Same thing with your linebackers, with your main guys. That Cheetah role seems to be kind of fluid, but there's three guys that are, of course, stepping up. There's one that makes me feel like y'all should be excited. The Sooner fans are already excited about him. We've been hearing about it for the last few days. So we're going to jump into who that is. But first, we're going to start off with the linebacker spot, work our way into Cheetah, wrap up into the safeties and just how excited your boy is about that room. So let's jump right into it. First and foremost, you have your linebacker room. I'll show you all the people, but here's the linebackers at the top here. Of course, your leaders in the linebacker room for this coming season is definitely going to be Kip Lewis and Kobe McKenzie. Both of them have shown themselves as redshirt juniors that they're ready to take over that room. Now, the room itself overall is a little thin. If there's one position I expect the Oklahoma Sooners to definitely be active in the transfer portal in the spring is linebacker. They need one more guy. We also got to remember this summer, they'll get another guy as well, Marcus James, linebacker out of Midwest City Carl Albert, 3-star, but he comes in at roughly 6'3.5", 6'4", 220 pounds. Yes, he's a big linebacker. I've watched Marcus James at the games at Carl Albert. He is everything that's advertised. He looks the size. He definitely looks the size. But the room is led by Kip and Kobe. Kip coming in at 6'1". The beauty of Kip is he's put on weight. He's up to 226 pounds as the last weigh-in, which was March 1st, which tells me he's probably close to 230 right now. He's probably bulked up even more as they're preparing for spring practice. He'll drop some weight as he's, doing all the cardio training and stuff. But I expect Kip to play at 230 this season. And then Kobe is going to be most likely your Mike. Then Kip will be your Will. The Mike is going to be Kobe. And he's at the 6'2", 240 range, which is a good size, that Kenneth Murray size. And all we've got to do is see what he looks like in coverage. I was listening to Gabe and Teddy talk about the linebacker room on the Oklahoma Breakdown, and that was the one thing that Teddy was saying he was curious about Kobe is, how's he going to look in coverage? Can he improve his footwork? Can he improve his speed just enough to where when he drop backs in coverage, there's not too much of a problem? Luckily, Kip makes it a problem. He has 2 Kip 6s this past season, so people are going to be eyeballing where he's at. So the middle of the field is going to be Kobe's. But from there, you got to look at the newcomer as well as the up-and-coming player. But first, shout out to our partners over there at BetUS. They're going to hook you up. 150% bonus on the first deposit, 125% bonus on the second and third by using promo code YouTube150. And the cool thing right here is you can see regular season wins. We got 5 teams for the SEC. Oklahoma sitting at over-under at 6.5. But the funny thing is that over version of it is the favorite at -115, which means Vegas expects Oklahoma to go over that total. And they're going to be hoping y'all take advantage of that number. I actually kind of expect that number to go up as the summer goes on. So if you want to jump in on the action before it goes up, you can check out BetUS. 150% bonus on the first deposit, 125% bonus on the second and thirds by using promo code YouTube150. BetUS, where the game begins. So you go from here right into the Cheetah role. Kendall Daniels comes in which he's actually practicing right now in spring ball as an interior linebacker, but he also is expected to be able to move around and play possibly some Cheetah because he played some safety and linebacker at Oklahoma State. He has the size for it at 6'5", and he's about 240. He's a legitimate 240. He's big. And he's big, he's strong, and he's fast enough to be able to cover a lot of ground. So I can see Kendall working with Kobe as even the Mike on occasion. The question is, how fast does Kendall Daniels pick up the offense? But the one that has been jumping out to everybody in practices over the last week or so is Taylor Heim, the linebacker out of Bethany High School. He's 6'6". Now, he's only 220 pounds, but he's a legitimate 6'6" guy, and he's huge. I've been keeping an eye, he's a redshirt sophomore. I've been keeping an eye on this kid since he got picked up by the Sooners late in the cycle when they snagged him. And I was like, okay, I like the size and variance that he brings. And I think he could be a very dangerous Cheetah, because if you can move him around and he's able to get his hips going, he could be a major threat at that role. Now you just got to get him bigger. You need him closer to 240. The question is, can his frame handle that? Because he's a tall guy and he's sizey enough. But the question is weight-wise. Can Taylor Heim put on the weight needed in order to be really a threat at Cheetah? But 6'6", a 6'6" linebacker? Imagine trying to throw over that dude and he jumps. Just imagine it. I can't. It's hard work. But then, of course, Reggie Powers is now we're going to transition into the safety room. Reggie Powers is probably the guy expected to start at Cheetah to start the season. He's big. He's physical. 5'11". I think he's close to the 6 feet, to be honest. But he's 5'11", and he's a legitimate 220. And I know they want him under 220 for the season. They want him to get too big. They don't want to take away his speed because of his frame. But the Ohio kid likes to hit people. And to me, that's your game changer when it comes to a defender, is someone that likes to hit. And so I can expect him playing a similar Kendall Dolby role, which I know Dolby's going to probably play some Cheetah, but I think they're going to use him more nickel, even though he will probably blitz. I don't expect Dolby to be in there as much as we see Reggie Powers. But Powers, man, he's a big boy. He's everything that we've been looking for and hoping for at the safety spot, especially at Cheetah. But he's going to rotate there, as well as I feel like, honestly, probably more you're free. Because in that main game, he went out there and got that interception on a play that didn't count anymore. But, he looked good. You're like, you fast enough for coverage and everything. And I think he's one of the faster guys in the shuttles and stuff in that safety room. But everything around that safety room is going to hinge heavily on our guy, Robert Spears Jennings. He's the field general. He's the leader of that room. And I talked about this on the last one when I talked about the entire secondary, but focused on the DBs, is that Robert Spears Jennings talked about how Billy Bowman really influenced him, and he was glad he came back last year. He helped give him a lot of pointers and stuff to help him with his leadership and get him going. And Robert Spears Jennings feels like now he's ready to take over. The Tulsa boy at a Broken Arrow definitely fits the mold of someone you want leading. He loves, he's really good at blitzing. He's good at reading coverages. He does it all. And I think that him teaching down the line is going to be good, because you've got him with a Michael Boganowski, who I think is going to play more strong. But you also got Peyton Bowen, who Billy Bowman even talked about at SEC Media Days, is someone that he expects to have a breakout year soon. He's like, he's ready. He's one of the young bulls that he's excited about. He just needs to go ahead and lock in and make it happen. So I expect a lot of Robert Spears Jennings, Peyton Bowen, Michael Boganowski, as well as Reggie Powers, and heavy rotation in that safety room, while Reggie's also playing some Cheetah. Heck, you can see Reggie drop back and bring in Taylor Heim at Cheetah, have them work together. Or Reggie goes back, you bring in Kendall Dolby, and you bring in more close to a dime package. There's a lot of options you can have with the size and strength you have in safety. I am very excited about this Oklahoma secondary. But then you've got the young boys, Michael Patterson-McDonald, Jaden Hardy, Jaden Hardy got an interception last year, by the way. Just keep that in mind. But Michael Patterson-McDonald coming in, and then you got a Marion Robertson as well as Marcus Wimberly. It's going to be big. That, to me, the room is good. You've got size, you got strength. You don't have really another Billy Bowman to me. I think Peyton has the athleticism to be that, but you don't have another Billy Bowman, which is okay. I don't think that that's going to be a hindrance to this defense. So when you kind of look at it overall, with your Robert Spears Jennings, Peyton Bowen, probably Reggie Powers mixed in with Kip and Kobe, and you can rotate that around with Boganowski, with Taylor Heim, Kendall Daniels, Samuel Seago, who, I think is going to be huge. This is his year to break out. Kind of like you saw out of Kobe McKenzie last year when he would come in for studs and you start to see them in those critical moments. I think this is Sammy's, because we saw a lot of Sammy last season too. I think this is the year where he jumps out on that. So with Sammy and probably Kendall Daniels playing a lot of that linebacker together, and, you know, safety with Boganowski and Reggie Powell's probably dropping back with Taylor Heim coming in at Cheetah, you're also expect to see Jaden Hardy out there a lot with probably Boganowski. And Boganowski's the one, you know, Baba Yaga, as we call him. I know y'all ready for him to come show up and show out. We already know he's going to. So I'm not too concerned about what that's going to look like. But, hey, I want to hear from y'all. What do y'all think about the safety in the linebacker room, especially Cheetah? Hop in the comments. Want to hear your thoughts. Appreciate y'all pulling up. Shout out to BetUS for sponsoring the video. Check them out. 150% bonus on the first deposit of $2,000 by using promo code YouTube150. Just search BetUS. Gamble responsibly as well. We'll get into the defensive line tomorrow. Probably a little bit longer. You got your interiors and your edges. We really got to talk about some of the young players that have been showing up in practice that we could potentially see breakouts from. And then we'll go right into the offensive line. Really talk the trenches, because we got to talk about the guys that's going to be protecting John Mateer and Michael Hawkins Jr. All right, we're out. We'll talk soon. Peace.